Hard to believe it's already Friday, but here we are once again. And before you start to enjoy your backyard barbecue freedom weekend, it is time for the 23rd edition of Weekly North News. All right, everyone. Hello and welcome in. Thank you for tuning in to the 23rd edition of Weekly North News on this Friday afternoon. The holiday weekend is upon us, so we will check out for that. We will resume making content once again on Monday. But for today, let's go over the headlines that I've been reading for the NFC North Division this past week. We will do the traditional one headline per team format. We can discuss it in the comments below, and then we can get out of here, go enjoy our weekend. It is backyard barbecue freedom time. We're going to shoot lights into the sky and set things on fire. That's the way we do things around here. So, headlines, let's get to them. Top spot for this week is going to go to Minnesota. Their headline is that JoelErickson has been re-signed to an 8-year contract for the Minnesota Wild, and that's the wrong sport. But I did want to bring it up because as a Minnesota Wild fan and as a big JoelErickson stan, this has me excited. I'm very, very pumped. I don't get to talk about the Minnesota Wild a whole lot. That might change some at some point down the line, but he's been one of my favorite players since I started watching and rooting for this team about 2.5 years ago. Him and Kirill Kaprizov, so just excited that he's going to stick around, and we're going to get Eriksson for the foreseeable future. Just love the way he plays. So got that out of my system. So let's get to the football headline. So Minnesota is going to take the top headline this week, and their headline is that Everson Griffen desperately wants to come back to Minnesota. This is according to Paul Allen, who did a radio spot on KFan where he shared his interactions with Everson Griffen himself. Paul Allen says that Griffen texted him that he bleeped up, quote unquote, I'm assuming that he said fucked up, with tweets regarding Kirk Cousins. It was wrong, and he really wants to come back to the Vikings. So that's been sort of the discussion in the circle amongst Vikings fans and media members on social media this past week. My thoughts and opinions are as follows. It would be fun, it would be nice, it would be interesting, but no. I think at some point you have to move on from veteran players because we have a lot of interesting, unlocked potential at that position that he would occupy already on the roster. I'm excited to see what DJ Wanham can do. We just drafted Patrick Jones and Janarius Robinson this year. Robinson, who we did our rookie review episode on a few days ago. Everson Griffen, I don't know really what he has left in the tank, and even if he does have something left in the tank, I've already sort of made my, goodbyes and whatnot. I think that this is a relationship that shouldn't be mended, and, if they want to put him, on good standing with the organization and whatnot, that's fine, but I don't think he needs to come back in a roster, perspective. So I think I'm done with Everson Griffen. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Paul Allen also does say that he still has allies on this roster that maybe could work in his favor to sort of sway some opinions of the front office to bring him back. But I think if they were going to bring back Everson Griffen, I think it would have happened by now. And, we're now getting into July. So I think the time has ran out, and I don't think we'll see Everson Griffen play for the Minnesota Vikings again. But I could be wrong, but that's just where I stand. Moving on to the next headline of the week, that goes to the Detroit Lions, and their headline is that TJ Hockenson was declared the heavyweight champion of tight end U. And if you're wondering what tight end U is, it's like this little, I don't know, I guess I want to say tight end mini camp that's been put on by Travis Kelce, Greg Olsen, and George Kittle. And he apparently TJ Hockenson really impressed at this tight end U. I think this is the first year that they've held the event where they get tight ends around the league. And they work on stuff. Irv Smith Jr. of the Vikings participated this year. But TJ Hockenson was declared the champion, and he was given a WWE-style heavyweight championship belt to take home with him. Some impressive hardware. Here's a photo of it on your screen to check out. I thought that was a cool story, and hopefully we see more of that in the future. Hopefully this event is a continuing thing. Moving on to the Chicago Bears, we have in the headline for them, Bears legend Mike Ditka says Justin Fields should be the starter in a roundabout way. So he didn't actually come out and say Justin Fields needs to be the starter day one, but he made his case for why he thinks that. So he was talking about how you learn by playing, but you don't learn by watching. And I believe that there is some truth to that. And that's kind of why this story interested me, because I have always been of the mindset, right? You get a rookie in the NFL, especially a first round player, it would be strange to go with the old style of thinking where, especially at the quarterback position, that they need to sit a year and learn. And now, I understand that there's huge differences when you're jumping from college to the professional level, but at the same time, either he has it or he doesn't. I don't know what you're going to learn in a year sitting and watching and not participating, getting used to the speed of the game, going out there, taking your lumps, getting sacked and hit. I am more of a fan seeing a rookie go out and start week one and be the starter for the season. I think you get put in a better position as an organization to find out what you have during that rookie contract and take advantage of that rookie contract. Now, it was different, years ago when you had guys like Carson Palmer sit for an entire year behind John Kitna, and that seemed to work out. But then you have other examples where you have Matt Ryan, who has to start early in his career, and that seemed to work out. So it's different. It's every situation is different, but in my opinion, I think you want to get your starter out there or your rookie out there right away. And in this case, when it's Justin Fields versus Andy Dalton, somebody with really high potential versus a known commodity who's been in the league for a number of years, I think I would give the edge to Justin Fields, especially if I'm Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace and I'm trying to save my job. So, but this highlights something interesting. This is like the first real big figure, if we could put it that way, to sort of put the pressure on early on the Bears to make the call to put Justin Fields in at quarterback. Is it going to have any effect? No, but this is just the beginning of the avalanche, right? This is going to snowball into a huge thing. It just is a question of when that avalanche is going to strike, be it week 3, week 8, week 13. We don't know, but eventually it will happen. Public pressure is the number one thing that could cause a change, especially from the top of the organization. All right, that's going to do it for the Bears. We move on to our final headline of the week. We'll keep this pretty short. Not a lot of action going on during these weeks leading into training camp. For the Green Bay Packers, their story of the week is that the Packers have reportedly found no trade market for Aaron Rodgers. This was reported, I believe, today, early this morning by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler on the ESPN early morning program called Get Up. I believe it's still hosted by Mike Greenberg, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't watched it in a while. But Jeremy Fowler says that the Packers have searched around. They have reportedly found no trade market for him. And he has also said that it is unlikely that Rodgers will sort of use a loophole and utilize the COVID-19 option, opt-out option, to sort of stick it to the Green Bay Packers. So there appears to be motive for Aaron Rodgers to make this last as long as possible because he has gotten his roster bonus, the $6.8 million roster bonus that he was due back in March, as long as he was on the roster. So, it depends on how they pay that out, but he still owed that. So that's a significant amount of money for him. And it sort of puts the Packers in a pickle. Now, in my interpretation of this, yeah, there's going to be no trade market for Aaron Rodgers because you're likely demanding an arm and a leg and a firstborn and a brand new Ferrari in exchange, right? So there's going to be a trade market for Aaron Rodgers. It's just not going to be one that you like because you're going to be asking for a ton in return, and likely nobody is going to want to give up the franchise just to get Aaron Rodgers for maybe a couple of years. So I don't know. It depends. You would have to find the really right situation, not for Aaron Rodgers, but for a team that says, if we do this, we are putting ourselves in the best position to win a championship right now. And I don't believe that there is a team out there that exists that is going to, sell the farm to get Aaron Rodgers. So that's probably why they haven't found a trade market that they like. All right, that's going to do it. Those are the headlines that I was watching this week and reading, not watching. It's time for the weekend. It really is. So let's go enjoy the weekend, and hopefully it's a long weekend for you. If it's not, I will see you back here on Monday. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.